to former Democratic Senator of the fine state of Nebraska, Bob Kerrey. Senator, always good to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Nice to be with you.
What do you make of what's gone on thus far, and particularly in your party as it tries to sort all of this out? A lot of finger pointing as to whether, you know, Hillary Clinton should have campaigned harder, or you've heard it all. But what do you think?
Well, I frankly don't find it very interesting. So much more important for me is can you find middle ground on economic policies and regulatory policies and social education policies, and I'm concerned about it. As you said in the warm-up, the Democrats, their natural instinct might be to move to the left, but the president-elect has been decidedly moving to the right, brings a guy from alt-right in to be a strategic advisor. I mean, it's a concern, because if you're going to get the kind of unity that Mr. Trump called for on election night, which we unquestionably need, you don't get that unity if you keep moving further and further to the right and the Democrats keep moving further and further to the left. What you're going to get, you could talk about draining the swamp, but it's not going to be a very pleasant place to see in Washington, D.C. if the alligators on one side, the crocodiles on the other, and nobody's getting anything done.
You know, the Republicans have the run of the table, as the expression goes, just like Barack Obama did when he first came in senator, with the House and the Senate and the White House all under one-party control. Now it's the Republicans' turn. Now, a lot of what Democrats did back in those first 2 years that defined Barack Obama's next 6 is, you know, run hard, fast to get everything they wanted done. Do you fear Republicans do the same, and as a result, we're in the same kind of sticky wicket?
No, I don't fear it. Look, what concerns me is if the president-elect genuinely wants to get the economy growing faster, it's going to take some combination of Democratic initiatives, I would say large infrastructure investments, and Republican initiatives, which is either reduction of the corporate tax or individual tax, trying to get more investment into the economy, as well as some regulatory reduction. These things typically require bipartisan support if you're not going to have demagoguing coming out of it. I think what happened with the stimulus package in 2009, which was in part driven by, a phenomenal collapse in the economy associated with the collapse of the banking industry. I mean, that wasn't, it wasn't anything comparable to what we've got today. But then the Affordable Health Care Act was completely partisan as well. And as a consequence, it's very, I think the legislation ends up being flawed as a result of that. But as a result, it's very difficult to explain to the American people what it is that's being done, because both sides are taking shot at each other, trying to make score political points.
And neither party has a piece in the argument for the other legislation. You're looking, by the way, here at Steve Mnuchin, the elevator banks. I believe that's David Malpass there as well. We love looking at the elevator bank, Senator.
I know, it's great. My office is right next door.
Is that right? Do you have trouble getting in and out of it?
Yes, you do have trouble getting in and out.
Even you. You know, you mentioned something real quickly.
I'm unarmed these days, so yeah,
okay,
it's more difficult.
You mentioned this idea of infrastructure, and that's something that Donald Trump wants, and we're told might be included in a 100-day early initiative that would include tax cuts. And one of the concepts he's brought up, sir, is this idea of lowering or giving a tax relief to companies that hold trillions abroad to incentivize that money back here and use a chunk of it for infrastructure spending. Some conservatives don't like that. But what do you think of that as a way to get votes for the tax cuts, votes from Democrats for this, the whole 9 yards?
Well, I don't think it's so much getting votes, but it's again, Neil, it's an effort to try to find agreement in the middle. You're always going to have critics on the right and critics on the left, but if you start off with all the way out on the right, and then the Democrats are forced all the way out on the left, what do you end up with? You don't end up with anybody in the middle willing to take a chance to do the right thing. So, for example, we still have the most compelling budget problem in the federal government are entitlements. And whatever you do to fix those entitlements, let's talk about Social Security, whatever you do to fix Social Security so that young people aren't getting screwed as they currently are, it's not likely to be popular with people over the age of 65. And so you need both parties together on that. Otherwise, what you have is both parties saying, I don't want to do it because you're going to attack me in a primary, you're going to attack me in a general.
Yeah, they both got to jump off holding hands together. All right, well, Senator, good luck getting to your office.
I'll be fine.
You should just walk right through if you're putting up with that nonsense. It's ridiculous. Senator, thank you very much.
You're welcome.